On our road,
And around, see,
apparently the things are loaded.
real big.
They was over on the
You're
other.
gonna get some.
I'm like,
Around this or something.
Yeah, we just don't get to the local.
Well, as I'm getting older, I've got to drive slower, but if I have my seat set the way I like to drive, when I push the gas pedal, comfortable speed where I don't have to constantly take my foot off the gas pedal and stuff, is right at 55. Between 55 and 60, I would say I do go over 55 occasionally. But it aggravates me to have somebody like Marty, because I'm constantly having to ride my brakes. So that's the reason I always pass him. Well, I've been to Mexico twice today, and each time I got behind somebody driving, and it wasn't Marty, but each time I got behind somebody driving between 35 and 45. And I'd be like, I'm going to end up hitting them. I just wasn't right. So I passed it. The first time, I had to follow all the way to Motherville. I was running late to take it to the high school, to the picture packet, which was terrible. But,
that's always the way it goes.
yeah,
Late, you get.
I was running late because I'd been to Greensburg with my mother and sister. So, and it's night coming to church. Got behind this person, I mean, they'd be going along about 45 miles. Okay, I can handle this, but then they'd slow down to like 35. And they kept sort of weaving across the yellow line. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to pass this person. Because when we first took off, when we went up to Greensburg, I drove my vehicle and Sandy was sitting in the back seat behind me. And so I pushed my seat up, sucked up the legs so long that I found myself sleep. I sit back, so I would. I've been driving 6 months, so I know my comfortable speed is between 55 and 60. Right there, you know, about 57, 58 is what we're running in. But now, the red truck should be. You bring me in, and I'll be down, I'll be doing saying, that's not they like, no, gotta let us all there. And it's getting a breakdown is very touchy. You know, you push way down on it, you know, a pretty good distance before it actually gets a hold of it. And I make my out, and I just like pushing it.
Turn it on.
And so I looked at this.
Are they?
She said there's Clarence discount stickers all over the store trying to use
No.
move stuff around.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
Friday is remodeling, so I guess the rooms in the movie were solved. Oh, remodeling, and she said there's clearance stickers all over the store. I didn't look much, but I did see several things discounted or buy one get one free or something like that. Already. So it can't see what they got.
All right, I reckon.
Okay, you just look tired.
I am tired. I've been at Greensburg and Columbia all day and got back, and I am a little tired.
And Jerry running around.
It's been so hot today too.
But I love it. I love this weather.
When Sandy came over, they were like, come on, come to Greensburg with us. Sandy's vehicle doesn't have an air conditioner, and I'm like, I said, who drives? Did you drive?
Did you find?
What'd you buy, you
I
Shirley?
bought your car.
Corvette?
It's my sister's old car. A 2001 Toyota Camry.
Those are good cars.
100 $17,000. That's a actual amount.
You gonna forget 370.
Yeah, those, that make, you get 300,000. You ought to last longer than most of us.
I got, she let me have it for $1,000.
I'll take two. Not losing that.
And, then, since we were sisters, just cost me $17 to transfer.
That's pretty good.
Nice.
I'm glad we went to Greensburg today, and we wondered where all the blue lights were on the town and everything, and now we know.
Well, I drove from Hardyville home.
That's right, you didn't drive from Greensburg. Sandy.
Yeah, Sandy
I
drove.
fixed, I said that you drove from Greensburg, but that's right. You did. You
No, I drove.
Yeah, I actually feel good. I appreciate you asking. I had some really bad week spells, but I feel good today, just hanging out with Jerry, and we ate Mexican food, and I'm wore out. He had to go get a truck work on, he just wanted to know if I wanted to go just right, and I told him I would.
And Alice, how is she doing since she fell once?
Well, she's been really sore. How's Alice doing after her fall?
She's doing better.
Didn't break anything, a lot of doctor said those discs and pressing off, she would eventually probably lose feeling and numbness. It's hard to walk, hard to drive.
When we got there, it was 2:40 walking. I said, y'all can't get things
Yeah, right.
I know, I didn't get nothing too excited. I thought that was down.
We already on
Yeah, you're right, he's fine.
To make sure everybody got their
Yeah, these are saying.
Mike, did you, I'm sure you did, you probably did not, did you view that video I sent you?
I'll look at the first one. I can't.
The video won't play?
No, everyone, you know.
I may have it set as private, it would. I probably had it set as unlisted, but I'll set it as public, and I'll change it. So I'm glad you told me there. Hazard 7.
But I've been up, it's getting pretty.
You saw all the pictures of them, you saw that one where I had like Kathy's plate at the dinner.
Oh,
Yeah. You had your walk.
So since I got there.
that's okay.
It was really,
I'm hungry, I had all the for you.
it was really neat, I got it, we need to post it in the book.
There's Sandy around somewhere.
Oh, let's see.
Express right So what, our kittens, they're growing and have had rain. She's got them kind of in the corner. They didn't get wet.
Larry, you weren't here tonight to show, we got 5 brand new kittens.
So Martin, we have to explain around there.
Yeah, the rain keeps going around us, and they're outside, but they got a house they get in.
I know y'all mama cat, we had a mama cat like that for years, and well, we had 2 of them on here. One we named Checkers because her face looked like a checkerboard. But she was color and
See,
yellow.
I don't need
The
it,
other
but
way is called Campbell.
on my Facebook,
If she gets under the grass, but she can't see her. Sometimes she'll be laying out in the grass and you don't see her.
I did, I had it marked as private, and I just changed, that's the reason. I can't, you know, it shows up for me, because I usually put them private or unlisted. You'll see it now, and that's why I wouldn't mention it. I need to tell Shannon, what is Shannon's last name? Huh? I just put Bird, and I've been texting her a little bit. I did the other day, but you'll see it now, so you won't have any problems. Remember, in fact, the thumbnail from the video has you and Kathy sitting there when it starts. There it is. And you can see the gun salute they had for him. But boy, it was hot that day, wasn't it?
It was.
I shared it on.
Pretty good, didn't it? But you ought to see it now, so. There's Mike and Kathy, side and back.
But you know, I thought it was going to law.
But no plate. I got the plate up. Oh, there's the salute with the guns. Playing taps. Yeah, I have to show you, they had a real nice gun salute. Carries in Vietnam War. I'm glad I asked you, Mike, because nobody could have ever seen it except me. So I need to I'll text Shannon tonight. Tell her that,
For my uncle,
hey, Larry, you weren't here Sunday. Elena wasn't either. I was going to show Larry. We was talking about our kittens are really growing. Pile of 5 kittens. 1, 2, 3. There were 6, but one didn't make it. And there's the mother watching. You can get that close, but no closer. See my sharp claws? They've really grown. They're a week old this past Sunday. Well, one had opened yesterday, we noticed.
well, they're kind of starting to open Sunday.
At a week.
I don't think they can really see.
But I noticed one yesterday really looked fairly wide-eyed. And so that'd be 9 days. But you're right, Sunday, 7 days, they started opening. I was going to tell you, Larry, nothing to do with anything. But you know, I told you that we had that super hard wind, made that light fixture go out outside. It just started working. I guess something slightly knocked loose. It's the only thing I can figure, you know. It don't even come on and off. It's working great, so. Outside light. Yeah. Did you get up in the night and fix it?
I sure did. You didn't know.
Tell you something else we've been doing, Larry. I've been replacing the bulbs in the house. We've done all those purple fluorescents, you know. I'm getting actual LEDs now. And they're only 8 watts of power. That's a big difference.
Oh, that's one of the things you think. I think Friday has
The
a
curls.
bunch of their bulbs on sale. That's
Yeah.
75% off.
You know, if everyone changed.
Yeah, 'cause that'd be on.
Out, the LEDs, I would put your,
Oh, yeah, we're doing all LEDs. So. Greg, I ordered a pack of 6 the other day, and I got 6 more on the way. I want to make sure the color was acceptable. Some of them are really harsh white, but these are a temperature of 2700, which is a standard light bulb. Right.
consume a lot less carbon, but everything's great. When you use them, we just put them in cages, but, you know, we cannot use them.
They were what?
Everything's great.
Gray.
It's a great.
Yeah. Well, these so far, yeah, they're not the sodium, but these are perfect, just regular LEDs, but they really look good. Well, it is 6 o'clock. Let's go ahead and get started. It's good to have everyone here. Jerry can't be with us. He has a meeting at school at 6:30, so he has to be there for that. And not really, I guess, announced sick or anything, but Shirley's got a car and driving for the first time since what? Was it a Model T you last had? Wasn't quite that. But she went to Greensburg and got her car today, and Jerry and I were in Greensburg. I thought, I wondered what all the lights and the rushing of emergency personnel was for, but Shirley got her car in Greensburg. But we were in Greensburg too, ironically. So, and I wanted to report Larry's brother's doing much better. They're beginning to wake him up gradually and beginning to heal up and doing surgeries on him. So weaning him off the respirator. So it's looking a lot better. I keep forgetting to put Larry's brother in the bulletin. I feel bad about that. I'm not used to it and need to try to remember. And of course, I'll mention again, but don't forget Saturday here at 7 o'clock, Chelsea and Patrick are getting married. At least that's the last word we heard. It's subject to change, but probably won't. Hopefully not. Let's go ahead and get started. I want to get a few announcements out of the way early. Number 208. 208. $208. 208. Wait just a minute here. I have heard of a land on the faraway strand. 'Tis the beautiful home of the soul, built by Jesus on high, where we never shall die. 'Tis a land where we'll never grow old, never grow old, never grow old, in a land where we never grow old, never grow old, never grow old, in a land where we'll never grow old. In that beautiful home where we'll never more roam, we shall be in the sweet by and by. Happy praise to the King through eternity's theme. 'Tis a land where we never shall die, never grow old, never grow old, in a land where we'll never grow old, never grow old, never grow old, in a land where we'll never grow old. When our work here is done and the life crown is won, and our troubles and trial are o'er, all our sorrows will end, and our voices will blend with the loved ones who've gone on before. Never grow old, never grow old, in a where we'll never grow old, never grow old, never grow old, in a land where we'll never grow old. Before our prayer this evening, sing number 268. Let's have Stuart to lead us in prayer. Jerry's listening in. He's on his way to school, but I sent him a link. He said he already had us going. This is for Stuart. Jerry and I had a nice day. We spent many hours in Columbia, Kentucky today at Don Franklin dealership, Stuart's uncle, and then we found the Walmart and some Mexican food, so we did all the things you do in a local small town. But we had a good day in Columbia today. Number 268, and then we'll ask Stuart to lead us in prayer. I will mention to remember those we've had, and Larry, those that came in late or listening late. Larry's brother's doing much better. They're weaning him off the respirator, gradually waking him up from the induced coma, and are already able to do some surgery on him. So sounds much better than it did. So we're very thankful for that. 268, then Stuart will lead us in prayer.
All things praise thee, Lord Most High, heaven and earth and sea and sky. All wherefore thy glory may, that thy greatness thus display. Should all worship bring to thee, all things praise thee, Lord, may we. All things praise thee, night to night, sings in silent hymns of light. All things praise thee day by day, chants thy power in burning ray. Time and space are praising thee. All things praise thee, Lord, may we. All things praise thee, heaven's high shrine, rings with melody divine, lowly bidding at thy feet, seraph and archangel meet. This their highest bliss to be, ever praising Lord may we.
We bow before Father in heaven, we're grateful as we come together this evening, thankful for this opportunity for fellowship and study and to be built up and encouraged. We're thankful to see you, Father, for the rain, especially. All the good blessings that come with that. We're thankful, Father, for the progress that Larry's brothers made, and we're happy to see that he can regain some portion of his health. Father, as we're still this evening, we pray for those who are not able to be with us, ones who are in need of your healing hand. We pray that it be your will that you would comfort and heal those. Father, as we assemble, we're mindful of those around the world who don't have the opportunity or the right for freedom of speech and freedom to assemble. We're thankful, we pray that we will never see that we take this for granted. It's all these things that we pray through your Son's name.
Sing two more, and then we'll have our Bible class for the evening. Ezra 7. Number 171. 171. 'Tis the grandest theme through the ages rung, 'tis the grandest theme for a mortal tongue, 'tis the grandest theme that the world e'er sung. Our God is able to deliver thee, he is able to deliver thee, he is able to deliver thee. Though by sin oppressed, go to for rest, our God is able to deliver thee. 'Tis the grandest theme in the earth or main, 'tis the grandest theme for a mortal strength, 'tis the grandest thing. Tell the world again, our God is able to deliver thee. He is able to deliver thee. He is able to deliver thee. Though by sin oppressed, go to him for rest. Our God is able to deliver thee. 'Tis the grandest theme, let the tidings roll to the guilty heart, to the sinful soul. Look to God in faith, he will make thee whole. Our God is able to deliver thee. He is able to deliver thee. He is able to deliver thee. Though by sin oppressed, go to him
for as our God is able to deliver thee. Number 394. We'll sing this before our Bible classes. 394. Oh, listen to my wondrous story, counted once among the lost. Yet one came down from heaven's glory, saving us at awful cost. Who but God's Son upon the cross? He died for you. Believe it thou in heaven interceding. No angel could his place have taken, highest of the high though he. The loved one on the cross forsaken was one of the Godhead three. Who but God's Son upon the cross? He died for you. Believe it thou in heaven interceding. Will you surrender to the Savior? To his scepter humbly bow. You too shall come to know his favor. He will save you now. Who but God's Son upon the cross? He died for you. Believe it thou in heaven interceding. Okay, let's have our classes.
Everybody got a lesson. I got three.
Shirley's our lesson getter.
Well, it's like my books.
Ezra 7. Yeah, go to our Bible audio. I saw one land by the bed. You sure, Ruby? You tell him about your driving? Charlotte got her car and so. What is it? Corvette? Lamborghini. Sounds like something I want on pizza. A Lamborghini. Let's go on. Yeah. Liver's mentioned in the Bible quite a few times. It's an interesting passage. Apparently the people of old, and this will have a spiritual lesson, you know how that, used to be, and of course we shouldn't do this, people would follow horoscopes and they'd have the body parts. And our friends that live in Alaska, anytime anybody had a condition that was wrong with them, they would just sum it up that they had flipped their liver, whatever that meant, that their liver had become flipped and that caused all the problems. And it wasn't unlike in the Bible. It talks about that they had used divination and they looked in the liver. And that's from Ezekiel 21. That the king of Babylon consulted with images. He looked in the liver. That's something I would have never done as king. I guarantee it. And for various reasons. But anyway, that's interesting in the Bible. Tonight we're going to be looking at Ezra 7. Ruby, did you pull it up there and find it? Okay. So Ruby put up electronic version of the lesson. was it between these two chapters? I may look this up. Stuart told me the commentary he was looking at said that they said they estimate what 60 years between chapters 6 and 7.
Yeah, I think Larry's the last.
Oh, Larry, excuse me, Larry. Is that what you had said?
Yes. 60 years between,
Let me see if Matthew Henry says anything about this. I'm just curious. So that's interesting that there seems to be a lot of time passage, basically a lifetime. Ezra 6, we looked at last week and talked about they could not. They had written the king, written Darius, king of Babylon, and he said, yes, leave them alone. As a matter of fact, give them money, and if they don't have it, you pay for it. So they would have been better left just to not do anything, but they could not defeat the people of God because we're told the eye of their God was upon them. So now in Ezra 7 tonight, we'll go over the questions in just a moment. But he does seem to think a lot of passage of time. Ezra's precious name saluted us at first in the title of the book, but in the history we have not met with it till this chapter introduces him into public action and another reign, that of Artaxerxes. Zerubbabel and Joshua we will suppose by this time to have grown old, if not gone off. I wonder if that was an idiom for dying. Yes.
Joshua, is that another way of spelling Joshua?
I think so, in which Joshua was another way of spelling Jesus, who was a common name. And Jeshua, what's that?
In that movie we went to see, I remember instead of saying Jesus, they called him Joshua.
That's a good point. Ruby and I went to see the movie Risen, which is a pretty good movie about the resurrection of Christ. We wanted to see it. It was promoted on a lot of sites. There's definitely at least one woefully inaccurate thing, or two, but one I wouldn't have included at all. But they refer to Jesus as Jeshua in it, and that probably was much closer to the way his name was announced, even knowing the Greek that we do. And but he does seem to think that it's many years later that Zerubbabel and Joshua have grown old. And so we know from the reign of Artaxerxes, they think it's about 60 years later. So let's go over the questions then, and then we'll go over the verses here. All right, number 1. There'll be a lot not here tonight. Kathy.
Verse 6. This Ezra went he was a great scribe, and all this was the Lord God of Israel gave him, and he ran in all his respects according to the hand of the Lord his God upon him.
All right, number 2, Ruby.
Is verse 9. For on the first day of the first month began he to go up from Babylon, and on the first day of the 5th month came he to Jerusalem, according to the good hand of his God upon him.
Number 3, Stuart.
In verse 10. For Israel had prepared his heart to seek the law of the Lord, and to do it, and to teach statutes and ordinances in Israel.
Okay, number 4, Larry.
verse 13. Make a decree that all the days of the people of Israel and of his priests and Levites in my realm, which are mine to their own free will to Jerusalem, go with me.
Okay, number 5, Sherry.
Verse 16, and all the silver and gold that thou canst find in all the province of Babylon, with the free will offering of the people and of the priests, offering willingly for the house of their God, which is in Jerusalem.
Okay, number 6, Sharon.
Verse 19, the vessels also that are given thee for the service of the house of thy God, those deliver thou for the God of Jerusalem.
Okay, number 7, Mom.
And whatsoever more shall be needful for the house of thy God shall have occasion to bestow it out of
Okay, number 8, it's me, it's verse 23. Whatsoever is commanded by the God of heaven, let it be diligently done for the house of the God of heaven. For why should there be wrath against the realm of the king and his sons? Number 9, Shirley?
27. Blessed be the Lord God of our fathers, which hath put such a thing as this in his heart, to beautify the house of the Lord. It is come to us.
Okay, and number 10, Mike.
Verse 28. And hath extended mercy unto me before the king and his counselors, before all the kings and mighty princes. And I was strengthened as the hand of the Lord, my God, was upon me, and I gathered together out of Israel chief men to go up with me.
Okay, let's go ahead and go over this chapter. There are some things out of time in this chapter. I think it seems here that we're having, could be a little bit of a flashback to when they had brought back here. But after these things, after the wall was being built, and I was talking about Ezra being mentioned, I was going to look up the name of Ezra. Ezra is never mentioned in the book of Ezra till chapter 7. That's the first time that he's mentioned. And oddly enough, it's 7 times in that chapter. 7 and 10 are the only chapters he's mentioned in the book of Ezra. Now, after these things, in the reign of Artaxerxes, king of Persia, Ezra, the son of Seraiah, the son of Azariah, the son of Hilkiah. Now, it tells Ezra's lineage here a little bit, and I will look at what he says in the commentary regarding this, of his lineage. He's one of the sons of Aaron, a priest. Him God chose to be an instrument of good. He's said to be the son of Seraiah, or he is, that Seraiah as is opposed, whom the king of Babylon put to death when he sacked Jerusalem. If we take the shortest computation, it had been 75 years since Seraiah died. And so there was a Seraiah that was killed when Nebuchadnezzar took Jerusalem, as recorded in 2 Kings 25. It had to have been at least 75 years. And so many reckon it much longer because they suppose Ezra called out in the prime of his time to do public service, they therefore link that Seraiah was not his immediate parent, but grandfather or great-grandfather. And I will say that was very common to do, that the Israelites would refer to their grandfather or great-grandfather as simply their father. They were the son of. And he was just saying that, you know, that if it was his father, Ezra was very, very old by this time. And may well have been. And it doesn't matter, and it may have just been a descendant of his. We learn a little bit, of course, about him, a man of great learning and the such like. So let's go ahead back. I just wanted to comment that the one mentioned here is his father was killed when Jerusalem was attacked. The son of Seraiah, the son of Azariah, the son of Hilkiah.
Are we going backwards in the genealogy?
Yes, right here. Ezra, the son of Zariah, the son of Azariah, the son of Hilkiah. I'm trying to, isn't Hilkiah the one whose wife, and I don't mean to get off, but there's an interesting phrase in the Bible to me. It says she dwelt where? In the college in Jerusalem. Of course, it doesn't mean like a university. Hilkiah the priest, I'm sorry, it was Huldah, the prophetess, the wife of Shallum. It wasn't Hilkiah the priest, his wife. Her name was Huldah, the woman I'm talking about. She dwelt at Jerusalem in the college. College means second quarter. College is usually the second level of education. You have, you know, all your grade school and high school, then you have college. And so college was a word that in King James time meant the second degree. She lived in the second area, quarter. But it was Huldah. And Hilkiah was a man, Huldah was a woman. The son of Hilkiah, the son of Shallum, the son of Zadok, the son of Ahitub, the son of Amariah, the son of Azariah, the son of Meraroth, the son of Zariah, the son of Uzai, the son of Bukai, the son of Bushah, the son of Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron, the chief priest. They give his lineage all the way back. And I would almost tend to think that this Seraiah that was killed was his father, because they didn't, I wouldn't think they'd want to leave anybody out in the lineage of tying him back. And so Ezra may have been very old by this time. And just Matthew Henry comments about if that was his father, he would have been very old by now. And sometimes in the Bible, they would refer to, well, Jesus, the son of David. He's not his son, but the direct descendant. So they tie Ezra back all the way back to Aaron. He was a priest. This was important to do because, as you see, whenever a lot of them came back, they claimed to be priests, but their lineage could not be found. So they were put out of the house of God as what? Well, that's a word that I learned a lot in the 70s because it was really a big thing. And it still should be. But they really talked about not doing what to rivers and land and everything. Pollute. They were put out as polluted. Back we see almost exact verses, Ezra 2:62 and 7:47, 64 of Nehemiah. They tried to find out that they were priests by their genealogy, but they couldn't find it, and they were put out as polluted from the priesthood. They're almost exact verses. So when they came back, people tried to claim, I'm priest, I should be priest. Sharon?
This shows a reference back to First Chronicles. It talks about the sons of Levi. It goes down to Azariah, they got Sarai, and Sarai, they got Jehozadak went into captivity when the Lord carried Judah and Jerusalem into captivity by the hand of Nebuchadnezzar.
So there's one listed after Sariah there.
Yeah. It does mention Ezra.
Right, he wouldn't have been born at the time that Chronicles was written. Most likely. Because they were gone 70 years. And so if he'd been born, anytime during that, if he had been a son of Sarai, he's going to have to be at least 75 or so years old. So there's one more listed in Chronicles. So this Sarai may have been his grandfather, and they were just jumping back, tying it together. The other man could have been his brother. That's a good thought. And Ezra may have been very old by this time. The Lord could have preserved his life to make him live, but he established his genealogy he could all the way back. This was important to them. It's not important for us. We don't use genealogy like that. I'm glad you mentioned that, Sharon. Thank you. So tying it together. What's that?
Okay. When we start the book of Ezra, and he the man that went and told the king, I'll go back and rebuild it.
I'm trying to think, and you might be thinking of Nehemiah, because did the king say, what's wrong with you? You're sad. He said, this is nothing. That's Nehemiah.
Okay, that's the
He said, it's nothing but sorrow of heart. And he said, I want to go back and build. And he said, how long will you be gone? I think that's the one you're thinking about, Shirley.
It is, but I was just thinking, well, sure, he's an old man. If it's been 75 years, and he was the one that started the building.
Right. Ezra, and it may say the same thing in Ezra, but they seem just to go back. But the one that went and actually asked the king, that's the one you're thinking about, right?
Yeah.
That's in Nehemiah 1, where the king sees there's something wrong with Nehemiah. And he said, what's wrong with you? You're not sick. And he sat down and wept. And the king, or is actually chapter 2, he was giving wine to the king in a cup. And he said, why is your countenance sad? He said, you're not sick. He said, it's a sorrow of heart. And he said, I want to go back to Jerusalem to rebuild. But Ezra and Nehemiah, I may be totally wrong in this, but I think in some really old Bibles, they put them together as one book. That they were, I don't know what it was called for sure. But I want to say that they had been combined, but they do belong right together.
This genealogy of Mark is important to them because it establishes their credibility. When we meet someone that we've never met before, we'll end up talking about where we live and who we know, and that's how we establish that little network of understanding or familiarity with someone.
Well, you're right, and that's a good point. We don't have to use our genealogy to be in service to the Lord as a priest, for we're all priests, but you're right. Like when you all first came, you told me who your family was, and I knew of your uncle, of course, the car dealership, and so we established that. And the connection, that is a good point. We always use that from whence we came. And I'm not totally off. I looked up, here's Ezra, Nehemiah. Oh, there's the original writings right there. I mean, not probably the original copy, but what it would look like. Ezra and Nehemiah is the original combined version of the books of Ezra and Nehemiah. The two were originally one, but were divided by Christians in the 3rd century AD. There's that CE again, where they leave the name of Christ out. So they were one book until about 300 years after Christ. It's believed that Chronicles, Ezra, and Nehemiah came from the same author circles of authors. So they were all connected. You had 1st and 2nd Chronicles and Ezra and Nehemiah running in together. Ezra and Nehemiah has a long history of composition from many sources stretching from the early 4th century to the Hellenistic period. That would have been, Ezra and Nehemiah covered a lot of years of kings and all here. Hellenistic, of course, was the Greeks. All right. Now, I think, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong or if it seems like I'm wrong, does it suddenly jump back in time, catching up with what Ezra had done? It seems like it to me. They had come and built the house. This Ezra went up from Babylon. They're talking about old history of, well, at least a few years ago, because it took them, what do we say, 4 years to build the house of God. This Ezra went up from Babylon, and he was a ready scribe in the law of Moses. He was skilled. He was well-versed, which the Lord God of Israel had given. And the king granted him all his requests. So he did ask too, surely. And that may be what you're talking about. According to the hand of the Lord his God upon him. So he had asked the king for these things. And there went up some of the children of Israel, and of the priests, and the Levites, and the singers, and the porters, and the Nethinims unto Jerusalem in the 7th year of Artaxerxes the king. These phrases are so important because they let us know about whenever these things happen. If you look up, I'm already in Wikipedia. Let me just look up Artaxerxes, if I can ever spell it right. I'll just let Google spell it. Artaxerxes, okay. Artaxerxes the first of Persia. There's old Persian. It's the one that looks like the golf tees. Artaxerxes was probably born in the reign of his grandfather, Darius I. I'm just trying to get some years here. So we're looking at 465 BC, around 500. And he's portrayed in the book of Ezra. This is worldly writings. It says, Ezra left Babylon in the 1st year of the 7th year of Artaxerxes. They arrived in the 5th month of the 7th year. And we are told that in the Bible. And so this Artaxerxes, haven't we, I say, confirmed or seen that his name may have been Aturius, or is it the one that's Ahasuerus from the king of, the same one that's mentioned in Ezra? That's why we're going to study Ezra next. If I can spell King Ahasuerus, the King Watchers, that's not what I wanted. But we'll do this. I don't mean to get too.
If you look at, I'm not saying this really, it says Artaxerxes,
Right.
which is not that far off from Artaxerxes.
Yeah, you're right. It's not. It's just a spelling. You're right. It's almost the same thing. The king of Ahasuerus may have been the same one as Artaxerxes. Names get changed very much through time. All right, let's go ahead and look. So the 7th year of Artaxerxes, the king. And he came to Jerusalem in the 5th month, which was in the 7th year of the king. So, the 7th year of the king.
I was just thinking their names were not all that terribly important, and apparently we don't have a real strong record of them, whereas God made it important that the genealogies be here so that we would know where Ezra was from, for example.
You're right. That's a good point. The king's names weren't established and saved like these were. It was important for God's people. So he came to Jerusalem in the 5th month, which is the 7th year of the king. If this is Artaxerxes, let me just see if he says anything.